Right, so the so I've got this new coil bobbin to make. I haven't started on it yet. It's a bit tricky though, because I want to try and get it in the existing holes if I can. But when it falls, it will basically be, oh god, it's hard to explain it really. I think the best thing to do is just I've been thinking about this for a few days. It's very mind challenging in the way I want to make it. So I'm just going to use this bobbin holder, magnet holder, as my template, because if I get the dimensions just right. So I'm going to have to start somewhere. So I think I'll just start with a rectangle. I'll just draw a rectangle over the top of this thing here. Right, so then I'm going to have to pull that up. Let's see, I want it really thin in the middle so it can be folded. So I'm going to have to put a dividing thing in later. Let's see. Actually, what I really want is, I have some bobbins that are very thin already. Let's see. I need to get a rough idea of my thickness. I think that's going to be too thick. That's about 1 millimetre, so it wants to be less than that. Let's have a look. See what. Some of my other bobbins I did are very thin. Right. It needs to be very thin actually. So I'm going to go for 0.4 millimeters thick. It's very, very thin. For my baseline. This is the wrong width at the moment, so what we're going to have to do is bring this in, get the width right and everything. Let's see. At some point I'm going to have to it's going to be a bit of a nightmare to do this actually. It's not easy. So there's going to be an awful lot of jiggery pokery to try to get this right. Because the coil will be wound, I've got to put this bottom rectangle is going to become the flange area, the outside perimeter really. Kind of daunting really. I'm not looking forward to doing this. So when this thing folds, it's going to be I'm probably going to have to flip this over when I've started on it, because I'm pretty sure it's going to be, I'm going to be folding it back to front really. get that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try and get the dimensions right first, so I'm going to you see, these bobbin holders are actually for round bobbins, and I'm going to be making a rectangular bobbin. So let's see, I'll make this thing unique, I suppose. Alright, I'm just making this thing unique because I'm going to change it. I don't want to mess up with this other one for the round bobbins. So right, and the coil orientation is going to be different, so let's just get a rough idea as to the depth I'm going to be going, because I've forgotten about these now. How deep are these? About 4.1 millimeters those are, so I'm going to be going a bit deeper than that. So let's see, what's the total length on that? 43.3. I need to take some notes. Because when you fold this, it's going to be shorter. So let me just divide that a minute. Oh, wrong one. What do I do then? So that's 2165. So I'm going to go to 21.6. So we've got two lines that are basically going to be very close together in the middle there. Right, so before I actually put a dividing split down the middle, I need to get my perimeter for the actual part that holds the wire from going inwards. So because these coils are going to be folded, let's see, I can't have them too thick, but they're going to be quite wide, so so it'd be like a flat coil effectively, almost. So I think I'm going to go with something like I'm going to call it 8 for now. Right. Right, let's see. I need a wall, so I'm going to go, let's just put the borderline in first, I think. Right, now I need a wall that's about a millimetre thick, so I'm going to go with 7. Right. The middle bit wants to be hollow. Alright, there's my wall. And let's get rid of these lines. I want those middle ones. So this is going to be, let's see, I can't go too thick with these because they're going to fold and the wires will warp. They will actually warp slightly, which means that some of the wires are going to be pulled taut and some of the wires are going to basically buckle out because it's folding. Now, unless I get the hinge point just right, and that's where I've got to work on a hinge point in the middle to get the hinging point just right, so that's the tricky part. So let's just extrude that first and I can sort that bit out later. Hang on, where's my I think I want to go with 3. Oh. probably 3mm. Well, let's go with 2. And there's got to be a chunk missing out the middle there. So that when it's folded, the top section will be open effectively. Let's see. I think I'm going to make a V shape. So if I measure that, I'll go with 3mm. Right. Right. I need to make this very, very thin in the middle because I think that gap there is a bit too narrow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that up a bit to let's see, 0.6. Right, I'll get rid of them other lines now because that's the bendy point. So that should be 1.2, I think. 1.3, yeah. That's right, that will do. And So the designs of coils that I'm working on is something new. It's about focused field. It's to overcome drag by focusing the flux on and to it's like a triangulated pyramid style thing, but not quite pyramid really, but yeah. So these inside ones can be a little bit taller, so I can bring them up. Actually, I think I'll take this inner side one down a bit. Let's go down to. Let's just go down by. Oh damn it! What if we don't? It's not working properly. Just a minute. I want to be down by 0.1. I'm just going to type it 0.1. I want a little gully in there. 0.1. Now I'm going to raise these up by 0.2. Yeah, it brought this side up as well because it's all connected, so that's good. Right, I think I can get rid of my lines now, my guidelines, because I've got the top thing to put on, but there's an easy way of doing that. I want to pivot this actually. I want to pivot this to see how it folds before I actually carry on. So let's just get rid of these guidelines. They're all gone. So what I'll do is I'm going to, the middle of that is 1.3, so this is giving me a headache. Let's see, so we'll go to 0.6. It must be a bit more than that. Didn't work. Our line didn't appear, so I don't know why. Only wants. Well, that seems to be the centre. That's weird. Right. Okay. I'll go with 0.6. I'm just going to put a line down here. Where's my line? There it is. I'll show you why in a minute, because I need to hide that other thing. Hang on a minute. Right, that's better. I need to hide it because I want to. Oops. I'm going to hide that thing as well. It's in the way. Oops. All of it hidden. Just a minute. Hang on. Undo. Let's just select all connected. Make group. Right, I'm just going to cut that a minute. I'll hide all of that lot. Paste in place. Right. Edit group. Right, so what I want to do, the reason why I'm hiding the other stuff is because I don't want to accidentally select stuff I don't want, so I want all of that half selected. I haven't got a line down there. Oops. This is going to cause distortion. I need to undo that a minute. Actually, I'm just going to. I'm going to put a line down here. I need to divide it into two. That should be separate now. Yeah, it is. Well, this little gully is the fold area where the bobbin will basically bend. Okay. I'm going to do the top section for it as well. It's pretty. These bobbins are going to be very thin, but they're stackable, so I've got to keep the wall thickness as thin as possible. This is this kind of surface area. It's got to be very thin, otherwise it'll be all plastic when they're stacked, and very little copper. So I need to get them very thin. Yeah, right, so I'm going to select all of this lot. I haven't got far enough down. Just a minute. Right, I want to try something. I need to pivot this all. At least one half of it. Because I want to take some measurements when I fold it, because I'm really terrible at calculating angles and stuff. You know, it's not my thing. Oops, wrong one. Right, I think I got it all. Now, because I want to make some adjustments to this thing, and I want to be able to check it, because those square sides are probably need to be triangulated so that they go across instead of being square. So if I get my rotor, I'm just going to go down to this point here. I'm going to just check this to see what it looks like. Oops. I've always got my undo command. I'm just trying to... Oh, what are you doing? Shift. I need the shift key. I mean to move it. I'm zoomed in too much. That's what it is. So it's going to be something... It's going to fold coil, which is going to buckle up in the middle, and getting the pivot point just right is the trick. Oh, stop it. I'm just going to... Oh, it's flipped over now. Undo. Oh, I just love undos. It's that thing in the background, it's knocking me out, that's what it is. Right, I'm going to try it from this side. Actually it can fold, actually it wants to fold the other way anyway, so click there. Right, it wants to go this way really. That's going to pull that wire tight, and it's not going to bend because the wire is going to be so frigging tight unless I adjust my pivot point. Yeah, if the wire's wrapped around those two things, it's just going to pull them really tight. That's why I was going to bend it bend it the other way. So if anything, the wire gets slack when it goes that way. So if it's coming up, the wire will buckle out instead of becoming too tight. So, oh, stop it, will you? Yeah, stop jumping. Right. What's going on with this thing? It's just annoying me. I'm just trying to get this right so I can do some measurements, and then I can click undo. The coil will have to be about there. Right, it stayed good. Right, so yeah. So this coil, when it's folded, I need to mark. I need to just take some measurements on here, and I'm going to click undo, because so from here down to about there, that's 10. I'll call it 10 millimeters. So to about there, I need to put, yeah, you know, you'll see in a minute. So 10 millimeters. I'm going to click undo. Right, so 10 millimeter. Right, so this bit here wants to be cut off. Right, that should work. The wire's going to be in mid-air there. And when it's bent over, any wire that buckles out can be pushed inwards a bit, possibly. Kind of use my thumb and finger to pinch it in the middle there. Something like that. This is not the figure 8 coil I was talking about in the previous video. I was talking about the unity coil, which I was going to make. No, this is another idea. This is similar, but I think it will work too, because the pitch angle of the coils will be in such a way that it will also reduce the drag on the generator, because the coils are if you've seen people with coils that are mounted sideways against the rotational magnets on a rotary system, this is similar to that, but it's not actually quite the same. The old TV sets that used to use the actual choke, the actual coil for the CRT, they used to have a focus of the magnetic field was directed in one direction, and this is basically similar to that. Very similar to that. The yoke, that's what I was trying to think of. On a TV set, the the coils were folded a bit like a flower, with like petals. Well, this is a similar kind of idea. And it should make a big improvement, but the only catch to it, the only problem is you can't make the coil really long, because you wouldn't be able to fold it. So you've got to layer them in stages, like a leaf on top of a leaf on top of a leaf on top of a leaf, and so on, so that each individual leaf is folded and it sits on the next leaf, and so on. So it's a bit like I suppose I could call this a leaf coil. Yeah. But they're going to be flat when I print them out, because I've got to wind them on a winder. So the coils will be wound, and then once the coil is wound, it will be removed from the winder, and then it will be bent into shape manually. So the parts that hold the wire in place have to be such that it doesn't get in its own ways, if you know what I mean. It doesn't foul itself, if you know what I mean. So the stages for the top section will have to be a lot smaller than the bottom section, and that's the next step. So I'll get rid of all these guides. next phase is to, I'm going to have to put some dividers. I'm going to have to put some lines here because I'll show what I'm going to do in a minute. I'm going to put a dividing line to this tip here. Actually I'm in the wrong place. Don't want to be there. But undo that. It wants to be directly below there. I'll show you in a minute what I'm going to do. Right, now that I've got that face, what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift these two, I'm going to make copies of these faces. Right. I want to use the move tool, press the plus, I'm going to make a copy of this face and lift it. I need a straight edge to it. Oh god, let's just go by this thingy. So this is going to be a copy of that face. Right, I've copied that face. That's going to become the top section in a bit. Do the other one. I've got to move it up a bit more anyway, so I'm going to press the move tool plus I'm going to copy that face as well. So I've got two copies of those faces. Now I need to bring them a bit higher up. I'll go inside. It's a lot easier. I don't know, I've already got copies now, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring it a bit higher up so it's flush with the other one. I'm going to go around, do the other one as well. Right, it's not high enough. Well, the way to sort this out is simply to extrude it up. Bring it up to the surface there. Bring this other one up as well. I think that one wants to be extruded down actually. Hang on. I need to move. I need to move that one back down. Long one. A bit more. What have we done? I've got to mess something up somewhere, I bet you why. Oh, it's already connected to the rest of it, damn it. That's why it won't move. There we go. 0.2. This is going to be printed, I'm probably going to be printing the top section separately anyway. Let's see, how thick is that? I can't remember. I didn't measure this. That was 0.1, that was a bit thicker. That's 0.2 millimeters, very thin. Remember, it's only got to hold the wire in place so it doesn't fly off the bobbin, because these are going to be highly compressed once they're actually mounted and pivoted. And it's going to take a lot of wire on there actually. Oh no, what have I done here? Looks like it's got a slope on it. What have I done here? Oh shit, sorry about my language. Yeah, there's a problem, I've got messed up here. So I'm going to have to, I moved that in a wall, so I'm going to have to undo a few things until that wall straightens up, because if you look, there's a slope on that wall there. Hang on. Undo. That's why I moved it there. Undo. I must have grabbed hold of the wrong thing, because that wall was sloped. Right, I can still fix this other one up now. So I'll bring this down 0.2. Well, I should have sorted it out. Right, so I've got a very thin bobbin that will be foldable. As I showed you earlier, it will just bend. And because the top sections, there's a gap in the top section, it will fold without anything stopping it. All we need to do is hold the wire, and that's what it's going to do. Right. But I really don't want to print this in one piece really, but I might have to do that. I think what I'm going to do at the moment is I'm just going to take these lines out. So we can see the whole bobbin construction, and then I can start messing about with that. And when I do print this, I'm probably going to slice this down the middle so it's two halves. I can use the slicer program to do that, to literally slice it right down the centre so that the it's in two sections, so there's basically a line right the way through there, and it's split. But I'm not going to do that here. But if I slice it like that, then I can print both the top and bottom flanges on a flatbed printer, on the flatbed of the printer, and then stick the two halves together. And that way I won't have loads and loads of support material all in this big gap, and I don't want that. This top one wants to be a bit taller, to be honest, anyway, so I'm going to go a bit thicker. Another 0.2 I think. Right, that should do it. I mean, that is literally 0.5 millimetre thick, more or less. Let's see. That is 0.4 millimeters thick. That's thin enough. I don't want to be any thinner than that. Otherwise, the whole thing's just not. It's just going to be too floppy, and yeah. I've got to make an adapter that's going to hold this in place when I'm winding the coil on there. But because of this new design being such a large area, I'm going to get more wire sideways. I haven't decided on the core material yet. It's probably going to be a different type of core material because I can't get ferrite rings in there. So probably be using some steel tabbing or some steel shanks, some little steel flat thin stuff that's going to go through the middle or something. I don't know yet. I haven't decided, but we're going to test the air core first anyway, and I'll experiment with some core material later on. Or I can use ball bearings, because their ball bearings always seem to work really well. Let's see what the width in the hole is, because I can't remember now. Is that? That's 10mm, so I can get an 8mm ball bearing in there, no problem. Alright, so that's the new foldable coil bobbin. It's very thin, but there'll be loads of them, and they'll all be stacked on top of each other, and that's the fold area in the middle there. Let's see what this looks like when it's folded, actually, now, because I want to fold this while it's like this and see what it looks like. I'm not straight yet, hang on. Make sure I've clicked the areas that I want. I got it first time. Right, let's go around. I think I've selected all the faces that I'm going to be folding. This is just to see how it's going to look. Right, so I'm going to fold it. It's going to be rotating on this axis point. Right, I'll leave it there, let's have a look. Yeah, that works, look. It's meeting in the middle there. I have to click, there's some overlap, there's some overlapping areas I need to trim out. Yeah, there. And over there. There's some areas that are going to intersect with each other, so let's have a look. Let's just take a measurement. I'm going to have to click undo because that'll be messed up now. So I need to take a cutout. Let's see, about 8.6mm to the corner. 8.6 I'd call it. It's up to 9 there, but I'm going to go to 8.5, 8.6. Right, let's just undo that. There's just some areas that are overlapping. Do I need to go that far anyway? Let me just check again, because I might have just folded it too much. Right, I see the problem. It's about, yeah, this wants to be Yeah, these need to be a little bit further back. So let me just measure that again. I think I need to go up to about 8mm. Right. I'm just terrible with geometry. Right, so 8mm. Let's have a look. I'm going to have to trim that down as well, which is annoying. That's 8mm. And the distance between there and there is 16mm. Right. So if I measure that from there, let's take 16. Right, that covers everything, so I can see where I am now. I need to trim this extra bit off that I don't need. So which is going to be a problem if I don't trim it off. So if I just go down from here, I think that would work. Well, I'm going to go with that. I'm going to try that first. Well, we're not getting intersection. Come on. Oh, it'll work. Right, hang on. Let's just take this piece out. Right, this is going to be a bit fun. That line needs to come out here. This is going to work. Let's try it. It might not fold. Oh yes, it will. Right. Let's take that off. I need to collapse this piece, so I need to put a line there. Where's my shift key gone? Alright, we're winning slowly. Getting all the pivot points and everything lined up. Oh, where's my guide though? Ah. Autosave keeps coming up and messing with me. Those lines can go at the bottom there as well. If I need to trim more off, I can always come back and do a bit more. You see the wire that's on the top is going to buckle a little bit, but I'm not worried about that. That's why I make them thin as possible, well, thin-ish, so the minimal amount of that happening. Check this around. Okay, let's try this again. Oh, I got squared up. Too high. Too high. Okay. Right, I should better pivot that now and test it. Let's see. That's not bad. There's no collisions. And I need to measure the coils are going to be facing. It's going to be a bit like a mouse. It's kind of funny. Coffee went the wrong way then. So the distance between this coil at the top and that coil at the bottom is 18.5 millimeters. Let me just check that on something I wound already. Something I did on a piece of cardboard to see if that matches what I'm looking at. Sorry, this is in real life. I'm looking at something at the moment. Oh, it's getting dark outside. The distance is, in real life, is, let's see, 18.44 millimeters. Right, so that's pretty much what I've been messing with. 18.44 millimeters is a real life test coil I wound on some cardboard, and that is 18.5 millimeters. Look at that! How close is that? I actually was aiming for that. 18. That's a lucky guess. 18.61 on the real life one, which you can't see because it's in my hand. I've got camera plugged in. So that is, I'll say that that's a success. That is pretty much what I was aiming for. I can't go more than that because when I collapse the coil further than that, if I bring the two halves in closer, the output, the amount of power coming from the coil is greatly diminished. So that is good. I think that's going to be about right. I mean, I didn't get my angles perfect. Oops. Oh, what have we done now? Oh, there we are. I didn't get my angles perfect on here, but that doesn't matter. As long as they don't collide at that angle, and that angle seems to be pretty good. It looks a bit messed up down here, but that's only because in the virtual, I just have to undo so I can undo that mess. In real life, that's just going to fold at that point. I suppose I need a bit more relief in there. Actually, I need a bit of more relief in there for the coil. Instead of it bulging outwards, I can allow it to bulge in a little bit more, because it's going to be. No, I don't think it'll be too bad actually. Yeah, I'm just going to undo that. Right, so that looks like it's going to work. Let's get out of that now, and I can. I'm just going to save it now, save everything. I've got to go out in a bit. I need to get some food. If you're wondering what that thing is over there, that's a toroidal compression ring to push the toroid out of the bobbins, because in some situations my cores, the black ferrite toroid core would get stuck inside a bobbin, a round bobbin, and I couldn't get the damn thing out without breaking it, so I made this little 3D printed compression thing to put it in a vise and basically push the ferrite out without breaking it, and it works pretty well actually. I've got the real one I've printed out and it works. It's a bit like a punch, but it's not a punch. Because the 3D printed material is very bouncy and flexible, it doesn't put too much pressure in one place, so unlike metal it would crack the ferrite. These things tend to splay out a little bit, which is kind of useful. Anyway, back to the bobbin. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I've got the relief thing in the middle, so that's where it's going to bend out. I just need to make a former to hold this when I'm winding the bobbin. Actually, I need to check. I wonder if it'll fit on one of my rectangular bobbin winders. It might do. Let's check the dimensions. 27.3. Oh, 27.3 by 10.7, call it 11. 27. I'm just going to go and have a look. Well, I'll probably need to make another holder winding thing to just hold these in place, and that won't take long. All I'm going to do is make an adapter that will go on an existing winding thingy. Well, I might as well colour this thing. Give it a colour. What colour shall I pick? Gold. Yeah, gold will work. We are in the golden age after all. Right, so yeah. Now the top's a bit thinner than the bottom. I don't know how that happened, but it doesn't matter. Don't suppose it matters. Well, I'm going to thicken the top up just a bit. Actually, let me check the bottom. How thick is that again? Oh, 0.6. Yeah, the top wants to be a bit thicker, I think. It's going to mess up my taper there. 0.2. Yeah, I just brought it up a bit. Look, doesn't want to be too thin, otherwise it's only 0.5 millimeters thick anyway. Yeah, let's check that. 0.6 millimeters thick. That is 0.5 millimeter thick. It's very thin. Don't want to be too thick. Don't want to be too thin. Otherwise, I'm not going to get many of these. I'm not going to stack many of these on top of each other, because every time you add 0.5 millimeter on one, you've got, say, 10 of these stacked on top of each other, all folded. That's, well, if you've got 10 of them and you've got points 0.5 millimeter at the top section, 0.5 millimeter bottom section, that's a millimeter, so more or less. So that's basically 10 millimeters of plastic in between the coils and everything. So I don't want them thick. I want them quite thin. And they're only there to hold the wire so it can fly off all over the place. So anyway, I'm going to start with the thicker ones, and if I can get away with thinner ones, I'll scale them down a bit, you know, just thin them out again. But yeah, I think that's going to work. Let's just check everything. Right, all connected. Let's just intersect faces with model. I'm just making sure there's no errors. Right, let's export that, see what it looks like. Oh, come on. Let's see what that looks like and see if it's got any errors. Oh god, there's an error. Thought there would be. Might be that line underneath actually. Probably doesn't need to be there now, but let's see what. Yeah, it's that probably them lines at the bottom. Yeah, it is. No big deal, I can take them out. It's only for me to bend it in the SketchUp program. Yeah, I'll take that line out. Okay, close. Oh, just click new. Open. That error should have gone now. Yeah, gone. So it looked like one of them fancy modern buildings. Once to stack these on top of each other. It looked like V, the movie. Oh. Right, so that's okay. There's one thing I haven't really checked properly, and that's unhide. Yeah, the when it's folded, it's not going to go through the hole on these round bobbin holders. So well, it might do. When it's folded, it probably will go in there. Well, what was it I measured? Let's see. Was it 18? I think it was 18. It was about 18 millimeters. So everything's falling over here. So 18 millimeters. Will it fit in there? That's 24.8. So yeah, it will. It will. When it's folded, it will still fit in my round bobbin holders. So that's great. It will still fit in there. So that's brilliant. That means I don't have to fart about making new holders. They'll still fit in. What about the width? Width 26.7. 26.6. Ooh, that's close. I think I can get them in there. Most of the wire is going to be inside the bobbin anyway. It's not going to be sticking out, so I'm pretty sure I can actually make these a little bit thinner. Just a tad. Edit group. So if I just take off .5 or 0.6, no 0.5, 0.5, take 0.5 off there. Take a bit off this side as well. 0.5. Right, that should be alright. That will fit now without any problem. Yeah, because they look bigger, it'll look bigger until it's folded, but it will be fine. I thought about using a round core in the middle, but I decided against that because it's folding. I could still stick some ferrite, small ferrite rings in there if I needed to. Or a toroidal ring will still go in there, smaller ones, but yeah, I'm more interested in the efficiency of the coil at this present moment. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Anyway, so I have not had many updates lately, but I've just been waiting for filament to arrive, and also just had some builders put a new window in the bedroom, fire safety bullshit, you know. So yeah, I've just had a lot on my plate last few days, and yeah. So my holders can still accommodate the magnets that go in these little slots on the holder to add some flux to the coil, so that's not going to impede anything. It's a good thing. I wanted to keep the original holders if possible. and it looks like I'll be able to do that when they're folded. Yeah, I can't wait. Yeah, I can't wait to test them out. Actually, it'd be really interesting. But it's going to be a bit of a nightmare because these things don't take a lot of wire, and I've got to wind a lot of them really to get up to the 470. Is it 470 turns I've got on the other ones? I can't remember now. Hang on. It'll take a while to get the turns up. 450 turns, yeah, so yeah, it's going to be quite a few of those to stack. Mind you, they are a bit deeper, so I should get more wire in there. Anyway, I'm going to disappear. So instead of the round bobbins that go in there at the moment, we're going to have the the folding bobbins that go in their slots, and it's going to be really interesting to see how it works. I have to give that a name. Actually, I didn't give it a name. Let's just I might forget what it's called later on, so folding. Right, that's that. Anyway, I am going to disappear. I want to go to the shop.